Hello, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Aoife. It is nice to have you here. So basically I'm trying to prep my mind. I'm trying to get myself ready, psyched up, because I know that this style is gonna take forever. And with the energy that I am giving off, it will take an even longer time if I just don't get to it. So I'm doing knotless box braids for the first time ever. I have never done knotless box braids. I've done regular box braids and other hairstyles, but I've never tried the knotless braids. So if you're interested in seeing how this goes, then please keep on watching. So I'm having my grad pics coming up soon, and you know, I was thinking of all these styles, and then I realized I have a big head. And I need to be able to wear my cap for my pics, and box braids is just the amount of hair that I have. By the time I'm done with the box braids, it's just ridiculously thick. So I decided that I will try some knotless box braids just because they lay flatter against the hair and they look like they will fit the vision that I have for myself. My only thing is, all the box braids that I've seen online have just looked extremely flat. So I want full box braids. Like, I want it to be full. I don't want it to look sparse in any areas. So after a ton of research, I think I figured out how I want this to go. There's one video in particular that I've been watching. I don't remember her name, but I think it's the best video I've watched on knotless box braids. I think she broke it down so beautifully. She's broken it down so beautifully. She has been extremely detail oriented with it, so I just feel like it's only right that I link her video down below, because that's the majority of what I'm going to be following. As well as other videos that I've watched, I've gotten some tips here and there. So I'm basically just gonna part my hair off, show you guys the parting. I will have her video linked below, but she said to just like part your hair in half, which is how you normally would do it. But I think the interesting thing that I've never actually thought about doing is the fact that you can decide how many rows you have, which will then determine the thickness of the hair, which is such a simple concept, but I've never actually thought about that. So the plan is to divide my hair in half, and then the bottom will have 4 rows total, while the top will have 5 or 6 rows. I think that will give me pretty full hair without it becoming too much. Like, I want to stay in that balance. So let's see how this all goes. First, I'm going to try and part my hair. I do not have another mirror with me, so I just do this freehand, and we'll see. But knotless braids seem to be snitching on you if your parts are wonky, so that's going to be interesting. But I'm excited to get this started, so let's just go. My hair, so I just stretched my hair without any heat. I don't think I need a blow dryer for this. I think it got pretty stretched out, so I will stretch it. I will separate it off camera and then come back to show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so before we continue on, let's talk about what we need, the ingredients to make this happen. So first, I have a rat tail comb, real thin, because I just find that that's the most precise way you can like split things off. And then obviously some clips to clip your hair out of the way. And then for my gel, I'm going to be using some Shine and Jam. That's just to keep all those flyaways away, especially around the parts. If you put some gel on it, and it just keeps everything looking slick, controlled together. So then I have some duckbill clips. I think they're called that. They're like little metal ones. And I just like to put those at like my roots to keep everything down. But I don't know if I'll need it for today, but we'll have to see about that. Then I have some scissors, just in case, you know, to trim some flyaways on the hair. Then I got this. This is my first time ever getting it. I did my sister's Marley twist yesterday, which is also why I'm like dreading doing another hairstyle, because they got me out here a free stylist. But I finally got one of these for like holding the hair. It's spool. It's usually for like thread and things like that, but I think especially for knotless braids, this is going to come in handy, so I'm excited to use this. I'll have it linked below. And then lastly, but most importantly, you need the hair. I have this one. It is the Dorsane. Once again, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's the same hair that I used when I did my jumbo box braids. I have a crush on that hairstyle. I love that hairstyle. I want to do it again. But it is 28 inches long, so I want this pretty long. And it is 1B/30, so it goes from 1B to a 30, a lighter color. And it's very good quality. Shipping was quick for me, so I really like this hair a lot. That's why I bought another one of it. But that's about it, so let's get started. Okay, y'all, so this is how I parted the hair. I went from one ear to the other, just went all the way across, and I tried to get it as straight as possible. But this is the big section, and I'm going to divide this section into 4 sections going horizontally. So the plan is to take this one section in the back and split it into 4 rows to do my hair, and then that's going to be the back fullness of my hair. And I'm gonna take my hair and just the extensions and just divide them up. Now in her video she did 3 different sections, one being the biggest, one being the second largest, and then the smallest. In other videos that I've seen, people just made it really thin but the same size, and if I do that I will add about 6 of the hair lengths to it. But I'm not going to record anything yet because I just want to see what method would work best for me. And then I'm going to come back and share my tips and tricks and all of that with y'all. So I'll be back once the back of the section is complete and once I've gotten far enough for me to feel confident about what works best and what doesn't work. So I will see y'all in the future. Hopefully things are going great. Okay, y'all, so it's late in the night, but I finished the back section of the hair. I've been really slow with it, just because I don't want to like feel like I'm having to rush or like feel any pressure to finish it quickly. But I finished the back section, so I'll show y'all. I think I'm about to go to bed though. However, I really do like how it doesn't feel like I have anything in my hair yet, and I have a whole section done. But what I did was 4 rows like I thought I would, so I think it's been good. And let me just show y'all, and then I'll come back once I start getting more up into the front of my hair. Okay, y'all, so this is that section that you saw earlier, all braided up. This is the 4 sections that I said that I was going to divide it into. And basically, according to her video, this is how you have a full hairstyle, because the 4 sections will give you a fuller look in the back. So I'm just showing you guys how I parted it across my head. And yeah, I didn't count how many braids I have individually, but what I made sure to do was just divide it 4 sections before I started braiding completely. It is obviously in no way perfect, but you know, you always feel proud of yourself when you're starting a new style or anything new and you're kind of getting it. So I'm excited to see how the end result looks, especially once I get closer up to the front. But yeah, it's really long, but I like it so far. Alright, y'all, so I'm showing you the completed back section of my hair, and what I have here is 6 rows in total. Basically what I did was I had the first original parting of my hair where I went from one ear to the other, and I divided that into 4 sections. Then I went from the area around my eyebrows that I'm showing you right here, and that's how I parted it back. And from that I went from one eyebrow arch to the other, and then that section I parted it into 2 rows. So in total for my hair I had 6 rows in total. I had 4 in the back and then 2 that I did from my eyebrow arch. So here I'm just showing you guys what it looks like, the completed back section of my hair, and I'm just showing you how I parted off each row. Now it is time to tackle the front of my hair. What I did was I went from the middle of my face and I parted all the way back, and I'm just tying off this section. Then what I'm going to do is the section that is free, I'm going to divide it into 4 sections total. Then I'm taking the free side of my hair and I'm also dividing that into 4 sections. So I will have 8 rows total in the front side of my hair, all approximately the same size. In summary, I have 6 rows in the back of my hair and then 8 rows making up the front of my hair. Okay y'all, so I have a large chunk of my hair done. Now I'm just going to show you guys what I've done so far. So basically I took my extensions and I divided it into thin pieces and I put them on the peg, and for each braid that I was doing, I was adding about 5 to 6 of the thin pieces to the hair. So I'm just showing you guys approximately the thickness that I did for it. And what I'm doing is I'm taking Shine and Jam and I'm putting that at my roots and then putting that at my ends also before I begin braiding. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to just start it off as you would a regular braid. So you're taking your hair and you're splitting it into 3 sections, and then from that you're going to just braid, and I braided down about 2 plaits or 2 braids down before I started adding the extensions. And so with knotless braids, it is the feed-in method and it gets rid of that knot. So what I'm doing is I'm adding the braid to the second and first strand that you see, and then I'm braiding that into each other. If you can see that in the video, I feel like with knotless braids you kind of have to watch and learn it. And so from that I braid down a little bit, and then I make sure that the braid in the front is a braid without an extension, so that when I'm now adding the second strand, I am adding it to the strand without an extension, and that way all 3 strands will have my extension hair in it. And then I continue braiding down a little bit, add another extension until I get up to the 5 or 6 total extension hair that I'm adding to each braid section. Okay, so I feel like for this one, I'm just going to let y'all watch for the next couple of clips if you're more of a visual learner. And I'm just redoing the same thing that I've done in the last clip. Alright, so the next clip I've slowed down in case you need to see it at a slower speed, and just watch what I'm doing. Hopefully this is helpful for somebody.
Read about this or hear this, that you used to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broke and poor.
You know, right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, you know, I like your work or whatever that is, and I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever. Drive home and think, well, I do have these things. They're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there. I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995. Just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million.
Now that I am finished with my hair, what I did was boil some water, and it's not like piping hot, but it is hot, and I'm just dipping the ends into the water to just seal them and to allow them to have more movement. Then I am now taking some mousse. This is from the Main Choice, and I'm putting it all over my hair, and I'm taking a blow dryer and just blow drying my hair with the mousse on it. And I saw in a lot of videos that it's supposed to help with flexibility, so I just did that. Hello, we're done, we're finished, and we're free. Yes, free, because I'm finally done with the knotless braids. Oh, that took a while. I think most of it was on me because I was really taking my time with this, but I think it took like 2 days, and I took many breaks in between. Here's the full thing. Let me take it out so y'all can see what it looks like down. It's 28 inches, girls. And she's long. Oh my gosh, I love her. I love her so much. Let me stand up. My outfit is not matching, but can you? So this is how the full thing looks. So I am 5'7", 5'6.5", 5'7", something like that. And so it comes down to like my hips past my waist. It's really long, but I love this. Let's talk about some tips, some things that I've learned. This is my first time ever doing knotless braids. I wanted them really long and I wanted them really full, and I got that. If I was to do it again, we're gonna be honest on this channel, if I was to do it again, I would probably make the sections or the braids bigger, just because I have quite a large head and I have a lot of hair. And so, you know, when I have all these tiny braids in my hair, and with the amount of hair that I do have, it ends up really full, to the point where I can put it in a ponytail, but if I was to do it in a bun, it's just so big that that would annoy me. So that I learned. What else did I learn? I think if you're gonna do knotless braids, you should have that little thing that I use to hold all of the hair, just because you have to have those individual strands, and things can get really overwhelming, to say, if you don't have that, or at least have some way that you can lay out all the strands that you're going to do for that braid, rather than just, you can't really take your hands out of your hair fully and like separate a piece of braid out. So you need to be able to have them spread out, like sectioned out already. Another thing with the sectioning, I had some inconsistency with some of my braids. I eventually, as I started coming towards the front, it became consistent, but I didn't realize how thin of a strand each braid should really be, because when you put them all together, like I took about 5 pieces for each braid, 4 to 5 pieces for each braid. So when you put that together, it becomes the thickness of the braid. But to me, I was like, oh, it's so thin that I need to have way more, like a bigger, thicker strand. But that's not the key. I think the thinner strands are better, especially because you have to kind of make it look seamless as you're transitioning your actual hair and adding it with the braiding hair. So the thinner strand at the beginning, when you're first adding the first braid, makes it look even better. The video that I had watched, she had 3 different sizes for each braid, each extension that she was adding into the braid, and so she started off with the thinnest and then gradually went up to the largest. I just liked having all of them the same size and then adding 5 pieces rather than just having the 3. So that's all up to you as you continue to do the braids. What else did I learn? I don't think this style is that hard if you're somebody who knows how to feed in. If you can't feed in, I would just stick to normal box braids, especially now that we can use like the crochet hooks for it if you are not able to grip at the beginning. But for knotless braids, already I can tell that it's so much better because I'm able to just like flip my hair however I want. If I want it completely back, I can do that too, and it just looks really flat. So I really like the versatility of it. However, if I was to do it again, I wouldn't make it as full as I've made it. But so far, so good. It's only been like a day since I put the braids in my hair. So I can only comment on that. But I hope y'all like this. This wasn't really aimed at a tutorial per se. It was just aimed at showing my first time doing knotless box braids and my experience and what I got out of it. I do think it looks really nice. I think it looks good. I'm very proud of myself for being able to do this and for not hating life as I did it. But I hope this was a helpful video in some sort of way. Make sure to check out anything that I've linked below. But thank you for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I post every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. So yeah, you could turn on your post notifications if you'd like to be notified whenever I post, but no pressure to do that. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.